Hello everybody, good Tuesday. It's Dr. Lee, your family wellness chiropractor, and I wanted to share a lot of info that I like to pour through on my off days, a lot of the research that keeps me not only motivated but keeps me on the cutting edge of taking care of you and helping you find the highest level of health and wellness, optimal health, through natural means, and that's obviously chiropractic care, nervous system health, and then there's obviously a plethora of other things that we need to talk about as well. But just looking at the research today, I'm sitting here in my office, and this is kind of my Fortress of Solitude where I go to learn, study, and handle all of the fun things that you don't see when you're here in the office. But you probably can't see this exactly because it may be backwards on Facebook, but I will share this with you. If you want any of these studies, I will send you all my slides, all my little summaries. This study was done in 2009. It talks about, it was actually published in Neuroimmunology Journal. Basically, it talks about the nucleus tractus solitarius. I'm getting nerdy right now, so just bear with me. This nucleus is part of the brain, and basically it lies between the nucleus intermedius, which collects information from C1, 2, and 3. That's basically right here, the very top three vertebrae and the nerves that come out of those areas. And that area are basically all of the input, or not all, but most of the input for immune cells and viscera, meaning the organs, get their input from that area. There's about 300 million receptors here to send information to all the glands, organs, and tissues of the body. So this is where they researched and they really understand the impact of this, and it's already been over a decade. So not new information, but really good to remember why we're doing what we're doing in this office. They did a study in, I don't remember what year this was, probably about 20 years ago, where they were measuring serum thiol levels. Thiol tells you basically, it's a good indication of overall wellness. And they found that people who were basically wellness chiropractic patients, not coming in for like major symptoms all the time, but once they got to a wellness level and they're coming in for regular routine wellness care, they had an increase in thiol levels than people with like active disease or inflammation or infection, things like that. So staying adjusted regularly and having a wellness routine helps you increase the serum thiol levels. Another really cool review was an HMO in Illinois, Blue Cross Blue Shield. They looked at people who use chiropractors as their primary care provider. They found a 60% decrease in hospital admissions among those patients or clients of their HMO, 59% decrease in hospital days, 62% decrease in outpatient surgeries, 85% reduction in pharmaceuticals. Holy cow, 85% just by staying well adjusted. I mean, not a shock to me, but you know, it's good information. So back in the 20s, there was a doctor, Harvey Windsor, who did a study on animals and people. So he basically dissected, autopsied these animals and people who passed away. About 220 something organs he dissected, and when the person died of a certain disease, let's say liver disease, let's say heart attack, he found a 96% correlation to the nerve distribution to that organ being under dysfunction. Basically, there's arthritis and wear and tear in the area of the spine that controls that organ in the diseased and dead organ. So he obviously thought, well, there is some serious connection with the nerves to the organ. And if there's wear and tear in the area of the spine that controls that organ, there's going to be some kind of lifelong problem. And then eventually, when you have a lifelong problem with an organ, what happens to the body overall? So when you lose an organ, the body does not do well. Eventually, the body shuts down when an organ shuts down. So this is what he found. He studied 50 cadavers and basically 139 organs over those years in the 20s. And we've known this for 100 years. I mean, immune system and the adjustment. Thoracic spine adjustments found an increase of respiratory burst. Well, what's important right now when everybody's freaking out about a respiratory virus? that's been going around. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's out there somewhere. And what is important? Well, the polymorphonuclear neutrophils, the white blood cells, get a respiratory burst within 30 minutes following a chiropractic adjustment. And they published this back in '94. The burst is crucial for the cells that eat up all the dead cells and get rid of all the infectious cells, to get them out of there. So this is why I tell people to stay well adjusted, whether they're sick or they're healthy. It's going to help your body take care of sickness just as much as it's going to help it keep sickness away. Another one, they studied AIDS patients under 6 months of chiropractic care, especially in the upper spine, the neck, had a 48% increase in the number of CD4 and T killer cells in this group. I mean, it was just pretty amazing how quickly people get better. Review of thousands of cases of chiropractic patients, before and after, objective clinical data, remarkably clear that patients improve in all measurements, not just one or two, not just a little bit, but the vitality of all of these patients has been affected. And that was published through Emory University in 2008, thanks to Matt McCoy, who's a chiropractic researcher. There's so many. I mean, this is the biggest study in chiropractic. 2,800 patients in the late 90s were studied, and they found there was significant benefits in almost every single physiological measurement they could assess. And the benefits did not stop. They just kept getting better. There was no cap to how well these people could do in all of these measurements. No maximum clinical benefit, meaning there was no stop to how well they could do. That's pretty awesome. There's so many more studies. I'm not going to bore you with all of them, but we talked about this in our podcast last week. Salivary cortisol is reduced with chiropractic care. What is salivary cortisol? Basically the measurement of your stress chemicals due to chronic stress. If we can reduce chronic stress by adjusting somebody, then the body can heal and the immune system can be enhanced, and you can go to the bathroom easier, and you can sleep better, and hormones can regulate better without as much chronic overload of stress, which will help your immune system. What else did they find? Lymphatics. Lymphatics in 2015, Journal of Nature, they found that the brain actually has lymphatic vessels. The brain has drainage tubes in it to get rid of dead cells, inflammation, all the stuff, the gunk that has to be washed out at night. Well, what if you have a misalignment here that's not allowing the flow of the fluid, the cerebrospinal fluid? This is what they were studying. If they can get adjusted, it will enhance the flow of lymphatics, the lymphatic drainage, and getting rid of the gunk, especially from sickness, but also from inflammation, stress, heavy metals, all the toxins that develop in our body. They can be washed out much easier thanks to regular chiropractic care. Increase of secretory immunoglobulin A, IgA levels. Really important, especially right now when everybody's talking about immune function and immune issues and what's around us. This is just 2011, not even 10 years ago. High levels of secretory IgA is basically messes with your respiratory tract. Well, after each adjustment, people submitted saliva samples for IgA level assessment, and they found that a huge positive effect on serum IgA, or secretory IgA, in people who got adjusted. It's pretty simple. Increase lung function and lymphatic drainage. All of these things are getting enhanced with regular chiropractic care. Now, does it mean we're treating disease? Does it mean we're treating a virus or treating any symptom? No, we're looking to enhance the body's ability to do what it was meant to do, which will help you get over that naturally. So hope this information helped you. It helps me all the time when I look this over and really understand how to take care of you better. And I nerd out on Tuesdays, sometimes Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, so I could really know how to best care for you and your family. If you haven't been here, or if it's been a while, call us 205-981-8090. We'll be back in the office tomorrow on Wednesday at 8 a.m., and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much, guys.